Hey you guys, today is Monday, Labor Day, September 5th, 2016, and I'm missing the Jerry Lewis Telethon so bad I can't stand it. Every year, I miss it more and more. I really love Jerry Lewis big time. I really miss him. So I'm gonna do a little tribute video to Jerry Lewis. Hope you enjoy it. I'm on a Tootsie Roll Pop kick, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. Tootsie Roll Pop. Sweet grape flavored Tootsie Roll Pop. Labor Day weekend, growing up as a kid, was so much fun. We'd always stay home, and we would all week through look forward to the Jerry Lewis Telethon. So I think I got really sad, I looked through the newspaper, because this would be this came out on Friday, so this would have been the the Labor Day weekend newspaper. I looked through the whole thing. There's not one single mention of Jerry Lewis or MDA telethons. Not a single anything. So anyways, I just really miss the telethon so much. The shows, the Las Vegas setting. Growing up as a kid, every summer our family would be in Las Vegas. We had the best time, and that was even back in the day when Las Vegas didn't allow kids in the casinos. This was old Las Vegas from the 60s. So just everything about the telethon was just so much fun for me and our whole family, and I really miss it. I think I'm just going to use all my colored feathers tonight to cheer me up, like a colorful clown color. Because Jerry Lewis was just such a happy, colorful, fun part of my life. I'm just going to use all these rainbow colors. They're so pretty. And it smells so good. Remember, if you're trying to relax tonight, or today, I might post this during the day. I'm not sure. But if you're trying to relax and go to sleep, just a reminder to turn down your brightness on your device and turn down your contrast, so your screen won't be so bright and you can fall asleep easier. Let's see. Better be careful so I don't catch on fire. So I'm gonna post this information below I found a very, very cool YouTube channel. We'll do that one first. Let's see. I'll post it link below. The name of the channel is all one word, the Telethonyears.com, and I will post a link below. And this channel has all the highlights. They have the Vegas shows that opened like in the 80s. They have, oh my gosh, they have all the fun Las Vegas headers, all the famous people. I was on this website last night for hours and really enjoyed it. So anyways, I will post that in the link below. And where was, oh, here's some recent articles, and I will post the information to these articles below. But this is just from USA Today, and it says from 45 minutes ago. From USA Today, 45 minutes ago, and it says September 5th, 2016, and the headline said, Jerry Lewis is not slowing down even without the Labor Day telethon. Legendary actor Jerry Lewis gets brutally honest with USA Today's Brian Alexander about Hollywood. USA Today. Out of Los Angeles, Labor Day weekend used to belong to Jerry Lewis and his madcap 21-hour Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day telethon. Lewis hosted the marathon for muscular dystrophy from 1966 until his last show as host in 2010. With his film return, Max Rose, opening in one theater this weekend before it expands nationwide, Lewis, age 90, is working on Labor Day once again. But the legendary performer insists he doesn't miss the weekend telethon ritual for which he has become associated. I'm 90 years old. What does that tell you? Lewis asked during an interview for his Max Rose movie. You start slowing down. But I haven't slowed down at all. But that's what you're supposed to do. Lewis and the Muscular Dystrophy Association parted ways mysteriously and controversially over the telethon, with Lewis's abrupt departure never fully explained. But Lewis clearly still takes pride in the event and decade-spanning effort, which he says has brought in $2.6 billion to help battle the disease. I don't know of anyone in the world that has ever done anything that represented $2 billion, says Lewis. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to cry. I can't believe it. This is really getting to me. Here's what else Lewis is taking part in. He's directing another film. Lewis says he is working on a mystery project that he plans to write and direct. He gives no details except that it will be shot in France, where Lewis is hailed as a genius and that negotiations are underway. You guys, I have to agree. And I know not everybody is going to like this or likes even Jerry Lewis. I am telling you, his movies, like the ones from the 60s, like Who's Minding the Store? Oh my goodness. It's hysterically funny. And the other one, The Disorderly Orderly. I am telling you, if you watch it just over and over, you can really see and sense the genius of Jerry Lewis. It's nothing you can explain or try to explain to anybody. You just have to watch it and see it, interpret it, and know it. Oops. And in fact, on our DVR, I have those two movies. It was on one of our movie channels. So I have those two, and the other one I love is one of his later movies, is the one with King of Comedy, the one with Robert De Niro. Oh my goodness, I love that one. And the other one, there's even another one, I can't remember the title. If you guys can remember the title, let me know. Where he's a postal worker. And I do believe it was the filming of that movie, one of his later movies, where he met his current wife. I think that's a little bit of trivia. I hope I haven't given you the wrong trivia. Oh, Hardly Working. That's right. Excuse me. Hardly Working, I believe, was there as a postal worker. One of his later films might have been his last up until this new one, Max Road. But yeah, as I was reading the movie listings the other day, I did notice that he had a movie coming out, and I got a little bit choked up because I thought, oh my goodness, the timing is perfect because Labor Day weekend is coming up, and I always think of Labor Day weekend as Jerry Lewis. And you know how some people, Labor Day weekend was like a getaway weekend? Labor Day weekend for our whole family growing up, and even for myself today as an adult, Labor Day weekend is like stay at home, prepare for what's coming after Labor Day, which was always school. We would always spend that Labor Day weekend getting ready, doing our last little bits of stuff for school to start on the Tuesday after Labor Day. And that was back in the day when you had a full 3-month summer vacation. We would always get out the first week of June, and we'd always go back the Tuesday after Labor Day. Anyways, times have sure changed, but it sure is fun and relaxing for me to go back to a simpler, fun time. And I can't help but make a video about this Labor Day weekend and Jerry Lewis and the fun telethon memories, because it's just such a part of my life. I can't believe it. Even though there's no more telethon, it's still like a huge part of my life in my mind. Alright. Okay. I don't know of anyone in the world that has ever done anything that represented $2 billion, says Lewis. And again, here's what he's taking part in. He's directing another film in France where they hail him as a genius, and he says, it's a marvelous idea that we've got, and when I put it on paper, it's going to be terrific, says Lewis, adding that it's too personal to pass on to another director. I wouldn't give this to a stranger. And then there's a picture of Jerry Lewis here. It says, entertainer Jerry Lewis speaks during the 44th annual Labor Day Telethon to benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association at the South Point Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas, September 6, 2009. And I'll post this so you can go there and see the picture. Lewis does confirm that he will not star in the movie. For those who wonder if Lewis might go for a current popular movie trend, it certainly will not be a superhero project. I won't even go see those movies, says Lewis, referring to the genre in unprintable verbiage. Oh my goodness. Actor Jerry Lewis speaks during the Method to the Madness of Jerry Lewis panel during the encore portion of the 2011 summer TCA tour held at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on July 28, 2011. Oh, I'd love to have been there. Even the Beverly Hilton Hotel back then, it really was still like the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Now, even Beverly Hills, they're I don't even know if he would have the same thing there today at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. If it would be just the same. If it would even be the same. He's going on tour. Lewis will travel on a nightclub stage act that runs about 2 hours and includes jokes, stories, and rarely seen video clips from his vault. The schedule is far from Lewis's 2 shows a night heyday. Oh my goodness. I want to go see this. The tour begins September 30th in Las Vegas and runs in a few locations across the country, ending in a Turner Classic Movies cruise in November. Oh my goodness. I would love to go see him in Las Vegas. Lewis relishes the opportunity of performing in front of a live audience. I love it. You walk on the stage and you are reborn, he says. The laughter is just wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. He takes the occasional paycheck movie. Lewis took a small role in the DirecTV movie The Trust as a father to a cop played by Nicolas Cage. The film was released in May to scant box offices, and Lewis has to be reminded that he even appeared in it. I'll have to check that movie out. I didn't know that. One day, 2 hours, done, says Lewis. In explanation for why he took the part, nothing important, he says. Lewis says he receives up to 30 scripts a month at his Las Vegas office and reads them. His part in Max Rose came after director Daniel Noah sent an unsolicited script to his office. He vows to leave past projects alone. And he talks about there had been a discussion of Lewis's The Nutty Professor heading to Broadway in a musical form under Lewis's direction. The musical version premiered at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center in 2012, and Lewis said the musical had a bright future in 2014. But during his last interview, Lewis said the classic 1963 comedy, redone by Eddie Murphy in 1996, with a Murphy sequel in the year 2000, should be left alone. It's too important to leave it just like it is and not take advantage of it, says Lewis. You don't steal from yourself, at least you try not to. But it's a constant problem because it was perfect. You want to see how you can revamp it to make it work again. But that doesn't work. Kiss it goodbye and get on with new stuff. And then there's a picture of Jerry Lewis attending the Friars Club celebration, the 50th anniversary of The Nutty Professor. It was a few years ago, obviously. 63, 78, 88, 93. That was 2013. So I will post that link to that article. That's from USA Today. And he did an interview again with Brian Alexander. And next we have CBS News reports from 5 hours ago. Jerry Lewis returned CBS Sunday morning. This was from yesterday morning, September 4th, 2016. So how is Jerry Lewis today? I'm good. I'm getting over not walking. It's rough. It's got to be hard because you are such a physical comedian, Smith said. Frustrating as hell. But like my daughter said, Dad, would you have liked not to make 90? And no, I'm very happy about it. He's a bit less mobile now, but for Jerry Lewis, not walking doesn't mean not working. In his latest film, Max Rose, he's a retired jazz artist coming to terms with his wife's passing away. Oh my goodness, and they have a trailer here. I'll post the link. It's his first starring role in 20 years. So why Max Rose, I asked. I fell in love with the material, Lewis says. In this roles, his facial expressions say it all. Then again, they always have. Yes, they have. Jerry Lewis, you could watch him. He wouldn't have to say a word, and you could see everything in his face. Facial expressions, they always have. The typewriter scene from the 1963 movie, Who's Minding the Store, is a good example. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry again. That is such an awesome scene. If you guys never seen him do the typewriter scene, it's perfect. Anyways, I can't talk about it because I love it so much. I'm going to cry. Lewis? This is terrible. I can't believe I get so emotional. I guess it started last night when the Jerry Lewis telethon would have normally been starting, and there was none. I guess that got me started, getting me sad. Okay, so then it says, let's see, Lewis made more than 5 dozen sight gag heavy films by himself, and as half of what was once the most popular comedy team on the planet, Martin and Lewis. I fell in love with him the day we met, Lewis said. Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin first teamed up in post-war New York, and within weeks they were selling out shows with their own brand of sex appeal and slapstick. For you and Dean, it almost seemed like anarchy, Smith said. Is that the right way to describe it? Yeah, pretty good. Lewis says that's as good an explanation as I've ever heard. I loved Dean so much, and I know how much he loved me. Jesus Christ, I'm telling you stuff I haven't talked about in 60 years. We're both 6 feet tall. I took his shoes one day and put lifts on them so that he would be a little taller than me, because you thought that was better for the bit if you looked younger. I said, oh yeah, you can't do that unless you're feeling it, he laughed. But after a non-stop decade together, they weren't feeling it anymore, and the two parted ways in 1956 and wouldn't even speak to each other for nearly 20 years. Did you still love each other when you split up? Smith asked. Oh, sure, yeah, Lewis said, adding it was time for us both. Martin, of course, hit new heights on his own, and Lewis became a top box office draw. Under his direction, in films like The Patsy, slapstick comedy became a performance art. Lewis, who learned his craft on the fly by watching people on movie sets, wound up teaching a film class to grad students at the University of Southern California, USC. Among his students were Steven Spielberg. About 12 guys from a class of 1960 made it in the bigs, as we call it. Oh my goodness. And in 1960, he made another lesser-known contribution to filmmaking, video assist, that is, instant video replay of a movie scene after a take. Today, it's something directors cannot live without. There should be a sign saying Jerry Lewis invented this, Spielberg once said. Isn't that awesome? It reminds me of Desi Arnaz. Like, wasn't he the first to invent the 3-camera scene? Wasn't he the first guy who wanted 3 cameras when they were shooting a scene? That's pretty cool. And then Jerry Lewis invented this video replay camera back in the 60s. That's very cool. But today, in Lewis's Las Vegas home, the Oscar that sits atop his TV isn't for technical achievement or specific film. for millions, it just wasn't Labor Day. Until Jerry Lewis hit his number on the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon, which he hosted from 1966 to 2010. He raised an incredible amount of money during his tenure. I'll give you the exact figure. Lewis says $2.7 billion accounted for. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it when I go live. This is such a good story. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. This is terrible. Okay, so where are we here? The money led to research and longer lifespans for MD patients, but it didn't buy a cure. And at times, Lewis could only watch as the disease claimed another of one of his kids. The days and hours I spent in hospital hallways waiting for the answer of this child, was he going to live or die? And I took it very personal. He said, how could he die? Look at the work I've done, and what did we do with all that money? Why don't we use it to help him? How did you answer that? Smith asked. You don't. Oh, God almighty, I could write a book on children's reactions to meeting their clown. One child says to the coordinator, if I didn't get muscular dystrophy, I would have never met that clown. And then these children look at you like you're some kind of god. I'm not a god. I just love people. And I love people that are well. I don't like to see someone sick. The MDA telethon had its critics, but it also had its moments. And one of the greatest moments happened 40 years ago today, September 4th, 1976, when Frank Sinatra brought out a mystery guest, Dean Martin. Lewis said he had no idea. Everybody knew but me. Oh, I've seen reruns of that show. It's awesome. Martin and Lewis never did get their old act back together, not even after this. Lewis says to Martin, so, are you working? It's me. Says, so are you working? But they stayed close until Martin died on Christmas Day in 1995. You can't write love off or put it on hold, Lewis said. It stays with you until death, and I don't know. And I don't know. It doesn't continue. Do you still think about Dean now that he's dead? Oh, sure. There isn't a day I don't think about him. And the fact that he left and died, I can't believe how bad I was bleeping pissed that he died on me. I knew he would do it. So, Smith asked, I have to ask you this question. Are you working? Yes, Christ, all the time I'm working. He has appearances on the books this year and beyond, and he says his goal is to live a little longer. And they have a little picture of Jerry Lewis and the correspondent doing the interview, Tracy Smith. Well, I'm 90 years old, and I figure maybe 4 or 5 more years would be nice, he said. In the twilight of an unforgettable life, all Jerry Lewis really wants is a little more time. Oh my goodness. I will really miss him when he dies. And, what is this? There's one more little article. I just want to see what it says. It's a WordPress. King Chester WordPress blog. Opinions from a conservative. I'm not sure if I want to read this. It's kind of like his own slanted biased opinion. But I will post it in case you guys are interested. It's just interesting. And what else did I wanted to highlight? On Wikipedia, they have Jerry Lewis, like his little bio, and then they also have on Wikipedia information about the telethon. I want to share with you a little bit. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I could go on forever talking about this. The Jerry Lewis Telethon from Wikipedia, also known as the MDA Labor Day Telethon, or the Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon. And it was created by Jerry Lewis from 1966 to 2010, and then in 2011 through 2014 it had all these other presenters. And it was narrated by Johnny Olson from 1966 and 1970 with Jerry Lewis, and then Jerry Lewis got Ed McMahon to narrate from 1973, 2008, and then Sean Parr was narrator from 2009 to 2014. And then the opening theme song from 1966 and 2012 was Smile by Charlie Chaplin. And then in 2013, the instrumental version of Stronger, What Doesn't Kill You, Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, was the opening theme. And the ending theme from 1966 through 2010 was You'll Never Walk Alone by Rodgers and Hammerstein. And then it changed after Jerry Lewis won. They had all different ending themes. It originated in the United States of America, original language English, number of 4 episodes 46, interesting. Camera setup, multi-camera setup was used. Running time, when Jerry Lewis was on it, it was 1,290 minutes from 1966 to 2010. Then in 2011, it went down to 360 minutes. 2012 was 180 minutes. And in 2013 to 2014, a measly 2 hours at 120 minutes. That's terrible. And the MDA was the production company, 1968 to 2012. Original networks were WNEW-TV, 1966 and 67, and then went into syndication in 1968 to 2012. And then lastly, 2013 to 2014 was the ABC network. Original release was September 4th, 1996. Oh my goodness. And it ran through August 31st, 2014. And I have its own website. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. When you click on it, you go there, and it says page not found. So you gotta find it yourself somehow. That's terrible. Let's see. The Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day Telethon. The Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day Telethon was an annual telethon held each Labor Day in the United States to raise money for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, known as MDA. The show was founded and hosted by actor and comedian Jerry Lewis, who hosted the broadcast from its 1966 inception up until 2010. The history of MDA's telethon dated back to the 1950s when the Jerry Lewis Thanksgiving Party for MDA raised funds for the organization's New York City area operation. The telethon was held annually on Labor Day weekend beginning in 1966 and would raise $2.45 billion for MDA from its inception through 2009. Let's see, when was this page last updated? Because last edited 17 hours ago. Well, that money information conflicts with Jerry Lewis. He says 2.7. This guy says 2.45 billion. The telethon would broadcast for up to 21 and a half hours starting on the Sunday evening preceding Labor Day and continuing until late Monday afternoon on the holiday itself. MDA called its network of participating stations the Love Network, and the show originated from Las Vegas for 28 of the years that it was broadcasted. Oh my goodness. And I would love it when they would show the audience and those Las Vegas showrooms. Oh my goodness, they bring back such wonderful memories. And so apparently what I heard was they would shuffle people in. Like you'd get in to go see part of the show, and then I don't know how long you got to stay, and then they'd let that audience out and let another audience in, go in and out, in and out. I would have loved to have done that. Beginning in 2011, coinciding with Lewis's controversial departure, MDA radically reformatted and shortened the telethon's format into that of a benefit concert, shortening the length of the special each successive year. The 2011 edition was seen on the Sunday evening before Labor Day for 6 hours. This edition syndicated to approximately 160 TV stations throughout the United States on September 4, 2011. Nigel Lithgow, Jan Carl, Allison Sweeney, and Nancy O'Dell were brought on as co-hosts and shared hosting duties for the 2011 edition. Successive telethons from 2012 to 2014 ran under the new title MDA Show of Strength, and further reduced the show's airtime. The 2012 edition aired on Sunday before Labor Day. 2012 show was reduced to 3 hours as a prime time only broadcast, and the telethon aired from 8 p.m. Eastern and was seen live in Eastern and Central zones. 2012 edition did not refer to itself as a telethon. And then the 2013 Show of Strength discontinued the long-standing format, being syndicated to individual stations of varying networks affiliation, aired on a major national network instead of being syndicated, airing on ABC Sunday, September 1st. Reduced to 2 measly hours. Oh my goodness. And the 2013 edition did refer itself to as a telethon. The final edition aired on ABC on August 31st, 2014, again as a 2-hour special beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern. It was announced on May 1st, 2015, that the MDA would be discontinuing the annual event. That is terrible. Well, there we have it, you guys. I'll post the link. It's a huge, there's tons of information here, but I'm just going to keep it to the first part that really refers give you just a teeny tiny bit about Jerry Lewis, because I do love him. I will miss him when he's gone. Right? So here's just a little bit about Jerry Lewis from Wikipedia. His birth name was Joseph Levitch. And at the Wikipedia site, there's a publicity photo from the 1960s. He was born on March 16, 1926, Newark, New Jersey. And he's a stage, film, television, and radio personality. His genre is character comedy and physical comedy. His spouses were Patty Palmer from 1944 to 1980 and Sandy Pitnick. He remarried Sandy Pitnick in 1983, and he has 7 children. And he has a very cool signature. And he has a website, jerrylewiscomedy.com. Let's see what that was. And then it says forbidden. You do not have permission to access on his server. That's terrible. Someone needs to update his Jerry Lewis website. And this was last edited 8 hours ago. Oh my goodness. Oh no. And then I'm going to touch upon his early life. It's just a couple paragraphs. It says that he was born March 16, 1926 in Newark, New Jersey, to Russian Jewish parents. His father, Daniel Levitch, from 1902 to 1980, was a master of ceremonies and vaudeville entertainer who used the professional name Danny Lewis. His mother, Rachel Levitch Brodsky, was a piano player for a radio station. Lewis started performing at age 5 and would often perform alongside his parents in the Catskills Mountains in New York State. By age 15, he had developed his record act, in which he exaggeratedly mimed the lyrics to songs on a phonograph. He used the professional name Joey Lewis, but soon changed it to Jerry Lewis to avoid confusion with comedian Joe E. Lewis and heavyweight boxing champion Joe Lewis. Jerry Lewis then dropped out of Irvington High School in the 10th grade, and he was a character even in his teenage years, pulling pranks in his neighborhood, including sneaking into kitchens to steal fried chicken and pies. Oh my goodness. During World War II, he was rejected for military service because of a heart murmur. I didn't know that. Then they go on to talk about teaming with Dean Martin, and they talk about post-Martin and Lewis era. And then they talk about his solo career from 1957 to 1976. And then they talk about him from 1981 to 2006. And then from 2012 to today. So that's there for you at the Wikipedia site, and I'll post that information below. Oh my goodness, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. This was really fun for me, and I really enjoyed it. So happy Labor Day to us all. I really miss Jerry Lewis. The Jerry Lewis Telethon.